We didn't realize that Bravo was actually afraid of saddles. We had started him out with this English saddle, and seemed fine with it. So that was on the 28th of August. And then at the beginning of September, we put this saddle into the round pen and invited him in. And when he saw it, he freaked out and ran around for a few minutes and wouldn't get near it. So here we are testing to see what happens when John tries to get him close. Bravo's actually trying to block John here. Go stand by the saddle and see if he'll come.
Ooh.
Just go stand by it. And then when he does come up, he's very tense and he puts himself where he doesn't have to look at that saddle. This probably happened because
now take him in where you walk closest
adoption.
to the saddle, but
They
he
probably
walks
set a
outside
saddle
of
in
you.
the pen and proceeded to put it on him. And yeah, so when he came back, he probably already had a very bad opinion of saddles. And the English saddle was just small enough that it didn't really trigger it. But
Turn him this
the
way a
bigger,
little.
browner saddle.
There you go. And just when he takes one step,
similar
reward
to what
it
he
right away.
had seen. So we went back to the girth, which had also been contaminated by this point, and so it was also a scary object now. So here's John working with him.
I like it because it's an example of what's not walking calmly.
Huh?
It's a good example of what walking calmly doesn't look like.
He had, when we first put it on, he had started bucking on this day, and I wish I had caught that on camera. He didn't ever really buck again after that, but he was very agitated.
Reward him for trying.
John would have had a little bit better luck if he had kept his rate of reinforcement up.
Reward him for trying, John.
So that the horse really got the feeling that good things were happening, even though he was wearing a saddle. Ultimately, when we got him over this kind of behavior, that's what we had to do, is just make it really where it was a nice thing to wear the girth in the saddle.
Come on, buddy. Pull a little harder. Deep. Oh, good boy. Now do it again. Don't give deep. Don't. Once you pull, don't release it until he steps.
Yeah, I just did it because he was chewing.
I know. But once you start pulling, don't pull till you want to. Deep.
Okay. Good boy. Ready and whoa. That wasn't a whoa.
Give him lots of room between him and the fence so that he doesn't feel claustrophobic. Yeah. You can turn and go the other way like you did the other day. Give him a little more slack on his rope if you can. That short rope makes him more tense.
Ready and whoa.
Deep. Now that girth is slipping around. It's okay. It hasn't really moved, but it's not quite straight.
It took us about 2 weeks to fix this problem. So I wanted to put this out where you could all watch it and get a good idea of what that looks like when things go south. Now in this one, he's
You're gonna have to
just
check a little
thoroughly
bit
shut
to the
down
fence.
here. He's just standing
No, he's
there,
walking
shut
away.
down. He won't do
No.
anything. He won't go forward. He won't go past. We had been on the lead playing target the cones, and he was doing okay on the lead. But when we turned him loose and asked him to engage, he just stood there for a while, and then he eventually tries to escape out of the saddle or out of the girth. It doesn't look like any big deal, but if you're breaking a horse to ride, you really don't want him this agitated. This doesn't look like much. He's not really fighting anything, but he's definitely not thinking well. He's too scared.
Yeah, let's get him back on the lead where we can lead him around and